Welcome to the review session for midterm number one. I'm going to share my screen, and I was a little disappointed in the overall performance of midterm number one, so I want to go over it with you. This video is only going to be available for a couple of days. Check the details for how long it is open and be sure to review it accordingly. I'll send that out in an announcement as well as written in the posting where I put this on Canvas. So for midterm number one, there certainly were some instructions that you were supposed to follow. I'm not going to go through that. Um, and I just want to go through some of these questions and answers with you. And some of them are fairly straightforward, and some of them you need to know where to look in order to do it correctly. So first of all, question number one. In this class, we discussed several things that define success. Each of us defines success in a slightly different way. Despite these differences, there are several things that we must know, create, and do in order to successfully achieve our goals. What are four things you would do in order to achieve success for yourself? Be specific and give examples. So this one was pretty straightforward in terms of being wide open. There's a lot of right answers. I don't have one right answer. I do need you to follow instructions. Four things. Be specific. Write it out. Give me a short paragraph on four things. Explain it. Give me an example. And it's easier if you do number one, write it out. Skip a line. Number two, write it out. Some of you did it just in one block. Some of you gave me just a very short list, 1, 2, 3, 4, and gave me one or two words. That doesn't give me examples. That doesn't follow the instructions. So if you did give me examples, you did write something out, you easily got the 8 points without much thought on was your answer right or wrong. Success is not a right or wrong. Does it show that you thought about it? Were you answering the question? Was it following the instructions? That's the key to this one. And that's true for some of the questions on every one of my exams in this class. Other classes, there are right and wrong answers. And for some of the other questions, there are definitely right or wrong answers. This one, not so much. It's just, is your answer appropriate? Are you following instructions? Are you giving me some information? Now, if you took it directly from the lectures, things like, know who you are, know what you want, create an action plan, set goals and deadlines. I mean, there are certainly things that you could have pulled directly out of the lectures that would be perfectly valid things to put here. Do you have to? No, you could have given me almost anything that was related to your goals. Question number two, why is it valuable to know your own personality type? And for this one, again, there is a lot of leeway, but I wanted you to get into the idea that I lectured about. Knowing your own personality type helps set yourself up for career goals and success goals that match what are going to make you happy. If you're totally an introvert, you don't want to be going into a career that's going to require lots of public speaking, unless you think you can overcome that. And some introvert types overcome that. And as long as you're in your comfort zone, public speaking can be overcome and it's not a big deal. But being a debater, being a politician, something like that, it's very different. You're not necessarily in your comfort zone a lot. And so that would be a poor choice. So knowing your personality type helps you achieve your goals and set your goals up in a way that matches who you are, what you want. More of you got number three wrong. Why is it valuable to know the personality type of your coworkers? And if you listened to my lecture on this, I was very specific. This is not about getting along. Communication, yes, but getting along, no. Getting along is kindergarten stuff. You should already have the basics of getting along. And if you don't, that's something where you've got to fix a problem rather than a main focus of knowing other people's personality type. Saying things so you don't piss them off, saying things so you don't hurt their feelings, or, yeah, that can be important, but that's not what I was after here. If you understand somebody else's personality type, you can put them in the right task. If their personality is very focused and detailed and numbers, and they like to do certain kinds of things, maybe you put them in charge of scheduling, of doing the budget, or other types of tasks that can leverage and put that person in the position of leveraging their skills. The one who's much more of an extrovert, who's the talker that has really good influence powers and really good communication skills. Put them out there as the spokesperson for your project, selling it to other departments or to customers. Um, so again, knowing the personality type, what's the key to this one? Knowing the personality type of your coworkers is about teamwork. And if you're in a situation where you're in a authority, you can delegate, you can give tasks to others that are appropriate because you understand, hey, this task would be good for Stephen. This task would be good for Lindsay. Um, you kind of understand what things would work with which people. And it's really important to know that in a leadership position, especially. Number four, two of the biggest obstacles to success are overcoming procrastination and overcoming fear. Pick one. And some of you didn't bother to even tell me which one you picked. You just gave me some quick answer without saying, in order to overcome procrastination, I would 1, 2, 3. In order to overcome fear, I would 1, 2, 3. That's what I wanted. I wanted to see you make it clear. You're overcoming procrastination or overcoming fear, not both, and write 3 things. And I didn't want 1 or 2 word answer bullet point lists. Give me a sentence. Now, if you did give me a list, if it was clear enough, I gave you credit for it. But I'm asking you to write 3 things that you would do. And it's hard to write something that you would do in 1 or 2 words. Sometimes it worked. Make lists of tasks. Okay, that's 4 words. Would I prefer you make a sentence out of it? Yes. Most of you did okay on this one, so I'm not going to spend any more time there. Number 5, 3 important things or paragraphs do you always put into your cover letter? Some of you did fabulously, and some of you totally tanked on this one. And so I'm going to pull this up. Three paragraphs. Where did it go? There it is. You Zoom. All right. Now, this is a little brief. This is not a complete answer. This is my notes from my own exam. But paragraph 1, the purpose of the letter. And what is the purpose of the letter? I am applying for the position of fill in the blank. What is the job you're applying for? That's paragraph 1. Do you introduce yourself? Sure. But it's not about your life history. It's not about the, you know, introducing yourself, the real key is, what job are you applying for? Right out of the gate, tell them the purpose of this letter. Then you get into paragraph 2. Describe how you would be an asset to the company. List your skills, qualifications, experience, and most importantly, what's not written on the page here, match those skills, match those experiences to the job announcement, the job description. So when you read about a job and you're applying for the job, you really want your cover letter to steal keywords, key phrases from their job announcement in order to put that into paragraph 2 of your cover letter. Now, I say paragraph 2, it might be paragraph 2 and 3. Sometimes selling yourself is a 2-paragraph task. And unless you're applying for a higher management job or an academic job, teaching, for example, you generally want to do the 1, 2, 3 format. 1, 2, 3, quick, one page, don't make it long. If it doesn't fit on a single page, you're saying too much. Save something for the interview. Purpose of the letter from your point of view is to get the interview, not to tell them everything so they'll hire you. You just want to tell them enough that they're going to go, we want to talk to this person. And that's really what paragraph 2 is all about. Sell yourself and match those skills that you mentioned, that, 2 or 3 things, match them to the job description. And then the third paragraph, you're closing by asking them for an interview. And that's it. Thanking them and asking for the interview. 2 things. I got distracted because my phone just went off. And this is a good enough time for a break anyway. So I'm going to take a short break and deal with my alarm. Be right back.